Hey, what's up, fellow modelers? Will here. Welcome to the Ensign's Chair. Today, we're going to have a little group conversation about some of our favorite builds. I had a stream going on Facebook, but it kicked me off apparently. So now we're just on YouTube. But that's all right. So I've got a couple guests today that I'm going to bring in to discuss our favorite models, favorite model kits, and some of our favorite builds. So, Mr. Hagen Miller, say hello.
Hey, Will. Thanks for having me.
There. Yeah, bud. Appreciate you coming on. Got a couple people in. So we got Hagen in today. We got Chris and Scott doing the double team on their end. Say hello, guys.
Gentlemen. Hey, Will. Hagen, how you guys doing?
Good. We also got Cass joining us from Lake Monster Details.
Hey, guys.
Say hello, Cass, so we know we got your audio.
Yep. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep. Right. We got you. And then we got Steve. Steve joining us. Steve, where are you joining us from, by the way?
I'm joining you from Pontiac, Michigan.
Pontiac, Michigan. Well, you're not far from Cass, and Cass is you're in what? Northern
Duluth. Yeah, northeastern Minnesota.
Yeah. Well, you're almost on the state line with Wisconsin, right? You're not far from Wisconsin up there, right?
Yeah, I'm just across the bay from it.
Okay. No, not you, Steve. I know where you're at in Pontiac, Michigan. Hagen, where are you joining us from?
I'm in northern Colorado. I'm just outside of Fort Collins.
Okay, so you're closer to me then, because I'm 2 states over in Nevada. Nevada, not Nevada, for those that don't know. And Chris and Scott, you're the East Coast boys, right?
That's right. I'm Maryland. He's PA, but we're about 45 minutes from each other. So he's visiting today. Brooklyn, we're working on some model stuff.
We got all the time zones then. So you guys are Eastern time. Let's see. Steve, are you on Central time there?
We're Eastern.
Are you Eastern there? Okay.
Yep, Eastern too.
Cash, you're on Central, aren't you?
I'm
and then
Central,
Hagen, you are on Mountain, right?
I'm on Mountain, yep.
And then I'm on Pacific. So we got all the time zones going. So just to kind of start off before we get into our discussion. So what is everybody into? Hagen, what do you got going on right now?
So I just started another long-term build that is going to be it's a 24-inch tall space dock.
Nice.
Space dock, Star Trek 3. If you include the antenna, it's going to be about.
That's the one you're doing all the little miniatures for, right? That I've seen posted.
Yeah. So I went from builds that could be measured in feet to these tiny little things that just barely fit in the palm of your hand.
Right.
It's been a lot of
decals.
Fun.
I'm surprised you can even make a decal that small with any detail to it.
Yeah, they came out a lot better than I expected.
Who's doing your decals for those?
I'm printing them off.
Are you printing them yourself?
Yeah, I'm doing inkjet because you get higher DPI that way. And so it's sharper. It's almost readable at that scale.
Gotcha.
I think the Excelsior saucer at that scale is like 15 millimeters in diameter.
Oh, wow. That's another conversation I need to have at some point with some of our decal guys about, doing your own decals and how, just what all goes into doing decals, because there's stuff that a lot of people aren't aware of. Like it's pretty impossible unless you have an expensive printer to print in white, apparently.
Yep.
Cash, I know Cash, you know something about that too, but I'm sorry, what were you saying, Hagen?
Oh, I was just going to say laser is pretty much the gold standard, but the advantage you get with inkjet is you get that finer resolution. The only drawback is the film tends to be a little thicker, but at this scale, it doesn't matter. You're squinting at it anyway.
Right. It's so small. All right, cool deal. Chris and Scott, what do you guys got going on? I haven't had my coffee enough yet.
Well, I'm still working on the 350 refit. I'm also working on a Dr. Fate helmet. Still working on the Sword of Omens.
Thundercats, right?
Thundercats, yeah, the Sword of Omens. Yep. So 3 things going on at one time.
Cool. Chris, what you got?
I'm working currently on the SDF-1 from Robotech.
We're going to be seeing pictures of that here. Yeah, you're going to show pictures of that here soon too. We're getting to our favorite builds.
Yep.
Steve, what do you got going on? Sorry, Chris.
I'm kind of in between projects. I've just kind of got a 3D printer that I've finally gotten to work, and so I'm just getting into a little bit of 3D printing. And I'd like to be able to start a 3D Defiant that I talked to a friend of mine about building for him.
Oh,
So
nice.
that's the project. And hopefully I can figure out enough of the machine to be able to print it out and build it. So that's my next project.
Is that defined? Is that using the game body files, or is it a different set of files you got?
No, I've just started to look at it. The game body's the first one I've encountered that I saw the ship. So I haven't downloaded it or tried to print out any samples yet.
Right.
To be honestly, I'm just kind of getting into it. I just got my first, usable set of prints of some things I got off the Thingiverse, the free one, and then I downloaded an alien sculpture that I was able to print out, but only half of it printed. So I'm still trying to work out all the kinks.
Okay,
Hopefully,
cool.
I can get to be able to where I can actually build a model from it. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah. I've got those defined files too, but I don't even know if I'll ever get around to building it. But I've got the files for it.
Oh, great! I may be looking to you for some help.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Like I said, it might be years before I get around to it, but we'll see. Cass, what do you got going on? Now I know I had mentioned when we were looking at doing this stream that it did not have to be a sci-fi related, because I know that you're a ship guy, and not a spaceship guy, an actual tall ship guy.
Yeah, sailing ships.
Yeah.
But what I got going, not nearly as exciting as what you guys got. But this was my Halloween project. I didn't quite finish in time because I have a whole base I'm making. But I'm building a haunted house
Nice.
in
Now,
HO scale.
Was that from the Adams Family house? Is that what that's from?
Yep, this is the Polar Lights Adams Family kit, and I'm just kind of making it, my own haunted house. I've got like the boarded up windows. That's actual real wood, and I don't know if you can see. I don't know if this camera will pick it up, but I've got ghosts inside.
Oh yeah, I see it.
And
Either one anyway.
yeah, there's 3 total in here, and once this is done, I'll have 3 UV LEDs on the ceiling, and they will glow, and the ghost will glow, and so yeah, this has
nice.
been my project for the last couple of months. Otherwise, I'm still working on that 2-foot long Mayflower that I had to shelve that one for a little bit just for my own peace of mind.
Right. Cool deal. Nice builds. Now, what I've got going on is a whole bunch of stuff. I've got like 3 or 4 builds. I mean, I got the Ian Lawrence tribute refit build I've been working on for almost 2 years now, if not that long. I've got the 1537 Enterprise B, which I've been kind of focusing on here the last 2 or 3 weeks, trying to get that a little bit of progress on that made. Inspired by Mr. Hagen, because he just did an awesome build of the Excelsior. That was the Helios, wasn't it, Hagen?
Yeah, it was a 650 scale, allegedly.
Right.
So
It's all allegedly, because there's so much with the scales.
It's actually right here. You can't see it, but
Can't see it. The microphone's blocking it.
Yep, here.
But
you can see the saucer.
You can see the saucer. But yeah, that's a beautiful build, and I got to see it last Wonderfest. I know you finished it since then. It wasn't completely finished when we saw it at Wonderfest, but
right.
It was still
Gotcha.
a gorgeous build. I mean, the paint you did on that thing was awesome. So it kind of inspired me to get into the trying to get my Enterprise B going. So maybe I could do something decent with it, at least halfway decent. And I already told Hagen that I'm going to be hitting him up for painting tips and tricks on this thing. But so I've got that going on. I got my little Andrew Probert. No, not Andrew Probert. Matt Jeffries concept shuttle. And I've also got the Reliant, which I haven't quite finished yet, but it's almost there. I've got a couple things to work on. But that being said, let me pull up what I need to pull up to share these pictures while we talk about our favorite models. And these are in no certain order. I know. I guess I'll start off with one of the ones that I picked, and then we'll work our way through these. Let's see here. I got to share this screen though. So when we talked about what we wanted to do as favorite kits, we kind of went by some guidelines as far as it should be kits that are well built or well designed, They go together pretty easy. You don't necessarily have to do, well, you shouldn't have to do a whole lot, if any, modifications to it to make it more accurate. And we
So
kind of stuck to
that'd be
that.
non-Star Trek, right? Then, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's actually one of the comments that we were talking about, was that, okay, well, but Star Trek does have, I mean, and I did say that it didn't have to be Star Trek. It didn't necessarily, and Steve's got some non-Star Trek he's going to, and I think Chris has one too he's going to talk about. But let me share. Let me share a window here. Okay, so I got that shared. But I did say it didn't have to be Star Trek. It didn't even necessarily have to be sci-fi, because I knew that Cass was a tall ship guy. So, and some guys are in the military stuff and that. So it didn't have those restrictions necessarily. I did prefer to keep it sci-fi because I think that's the majority of what people are into. But or at least that watch this channel anyway. Tiberius is getting into my coffee. Go on, Tiberius. So with that being said, let me introduce this first model. Ooh, damn, we all got really small, but we're all here. Can everybody see that?
Oh yeah.
Everybody see the screen? All right. So the first one, which I picked, was the 1350 TOS Enterprise kit from Polar Lights. And I picked this one because I built it, and it's just, it goes together really easy. All right. Tiberius has to get down. It's just a beautiful kit. I think it goes together real nice. I like that now they've done it to where you don't have to buy the separate parts pack. Now it comes with everything in the box you need to build all three versions: the pilot version, the production version, and what was the first season? What's the other one?
The cage
Anybody?
version.
The cage version. Okay, yeah. So you had the cage. You had was it the
Where
pilot?
No Man Has Gone Before.
And then you've got the production version. So you got all three versions. Before, you had to buy a parts pack to do it, but now they've got everything together. And when I built this kit, I built it with the actual lighting kit that you can get for it, which I wasn't a big fan of. It does a decent job, but the motors were really loud.
Mhm.
And I'll talk more about that, because this is actually also one of my favorite builds. But I think it's a really nice model. It builds real well. You don't have to do any modifications to it, especially now that they have the parts pack. You don't have to really do anything to it. And there's also photo etch that's available for it. So, but anybody else have experience building this model?
Yeah.
I haven't done it yet.
Twice.
What's that?
I started.
Go ahead, Cass.
Okay.
Well, I do have. Hold on one sec here. I started on this years ago, but I need to finish. And it's got a layer of dust on it. But I'm doing the first pilot version.
Oh, okay.
So, but I started this years ago, then I bought a house, and then the house needed a lot of repair, and this kind of went to the wayside. So I've
Gotcha.
still have to put the bridge on and lower dome, and I also, since then, I've realized that I've also painted this the wrong color since I started it, so that's another reason why I haven't really finished. So this still has kind of the greenish gray to it, but I've since found out that there was more of a light gray color on the first pilot version. So
Right.
I've got to figure out what to do on this one before I continue it.
Still looks great.
Oh, thank you.
It's still a fairly, I mean, well, I guess it's not really a new kit. I think it came out in what, 2012? Is that the first year it came out? I think so.
It's been a little
Yeah, I
while.
think so.
I think that's about right. Because
I
I
think
was
it came
working on a vacuum form kit before Polaroids came out, and then once Polaroids came out with it, it was like, well, I don't have to do the vacuum form kit anymore because Polaroids has
Right.
one.
Because they have one now, a 1350, and it's the same. Supposed to be the same scale as the 3-foot studio version. I think is what they based it off of.
Yeah, the one that was one of the promotional photos with Kirk holding it.
Right.
Yeah. And I think it was actually wasn't it in one of the I think one episode or something like that. I think.
Yeah, it was in something.
Is it the one that was in the background in Trouble with Tribbles or one of those?
It's possible.
Maybe.
I can't recall. I
Yeah.
can't recall. But anyway, it's a great kit. I enjoyed building it. I got another one in my stash to build at some point, which is going to be. I've actually got that one with the photo etch and with the decals, the weathering decals that came with it from Polar Light. So I've got to get to building that at some point, because at some point these decals aren't going to be worth a darn. They're already a couple years old at this point. So, but anyway, so that is. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
One of the things I think what they did well with that kit is that they learned from their mistakes with the refit. And
Oh yeah.
that I think they engineered it a lot differently than the 350 refit kit. So, and made it a lot easier to build compared to what the refit was.
Yeah, because the refit kit actually came out in early 2000s, I believe, right?
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I think the NX01 was actually the first 350 kit, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe you're right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of a test run for them to see if it was something I guess they wanted to do, continue to run those size kits, and obviously they were popular kits. But unfortunately, well, we'll talk about. I'm not going to talk about that yet. We'll talk about that later. But so that was my first pick for favorite kits. And the next one, Steve, we're going to go to you. This is one of your picks. This is the 2001 A Space Odyssey Discovery XD1. So tell us a little bit about it.
Okay.
I really enjoyed this kit. I think there are two versions. I have the smaller size version. It's one of those rare kits where it's not really a real vehicle, but you could see something like this that would be possible. The way that it's powered, and obviously it's from a classic movie. It's got a wonderful design to it.
Sorry, Steve, I cut you off for a second there. Go ahead.
It's got a nice scale to it. It's probably about 12 inches long, maybe 12 and a half, 13 inches. It's kind of small, but you can put it on your desk. It displays very well. I love the movie. It's a science fiction classic. I think they did a nice job with the kit. You can add a great deal of detail to it. Detailing is very good. I probably did a poor job, kind of painting it, to be honest with you. But
Looks good from here.
yeah, but just a wonderful kit, a wonderful subject. Really something I think anyone really a fan of science fiction, classic movies really like to have it in their collection. And I think they just did a great job with it. And it comes in 2 scales. So there's a larger one that I think Lou did it on his channel one time. I put it over a door. So yeah. So just a wonderful model kit.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, I think Lou is the one that said something about the 3-foot rule. Maybe, if it looks good at 3 feet, then you're good to go, or something like that. I don't recall exactly what the measurement was, but it was something like that.
Yeah, it's huge.
But, yeah, I mean, a lot of the models, even the models I built, if you were to get up close to them and scrutinize them, you could find something wrong with them for sure. But and I think that's true with most models. Even if you look at the studio scale, the actual studio models, if you look real close at them, there's some serious stuff that they got away with that they probably couldn't get away with these days with HD TVs and that. But
Oh yeah, I was just about to say that. Like the next generation Blu-rays, if you watch, there's several episodes, but if you watch the one, what was it called, Booby Trap, that one specifically, where they come across the old Promelian battle cruiser and they're stuck. That you can see all the light leaks and like peeling decals or whatever.
oh, really? Wow. Yeah, I know there's a lot of stuff that I mean, that's I think one of the big reasons they had to redo the model for the Enterprise D when they were going from shooting for the small screen to going to filming for the big screen, was because they didn't think it would hold up for up close shots on that for the big screen. But let's see what we've got next on our discussion, because I know some of you have tight schedules. So what's the next one here? Oh, Steve, it's another one for you. This is another Steve model. You get
This is
pictures out the way.
yeah, this is a kit that I'm pretty sure all of us had built at one time. years ago I had the Millennium Falcon. I think they made some improvements in this kit. I think they made some of the sidewalls a little bit more realistic, but just a wonderful kit. I love Star Wars. I love the Millennium Falcon. It's one of the first models I built when I was a teenager, and they re-released this kit. It's got plenty of space. It's a good size kit. I know that they have the perfect grades, but that's I think when I was on Steve's website or Cult TV Man when he's doing the kits, I think the perfect grade is about $450. So not everyone, including me, is really going to be able to get in that price range and really have something like that. So I just think it's a wonderful kit. It's got great detail. Mine, I got wish I could remember where I got a custom lighting kit for it, relatively simple, where the engine's got a pulse, which is a nice effect. And then I have a little light for the where you come in for the landing bay that you can turn on. So it really leads itself to some additions. I think there's some photo etch here and there. It's just a wonderful kit. It's good size, great detail. You can really get sinking into. I think I put in some a little bit of weathering, with a little of the smoke paint to make it look like the exhaust are coming off of it. Again, I'm not an expert on every inch of the Falcon, but just a wonderful kit. If you love Star Wars, I think it can really add to your collection. And it's just a pleasure to build. It's good size. It was affordable. Highly recommended. It was a lot of fun to make, and just a great kit.
Nice
Good,
build,
Steve.
Steve.
Beautiful,
Good.
Steve.
Thank you.
So Steve is the oddball here. So now we've got this Star Wars riffraff out the way, whatever that is. No, I'm glad you brought those up because the Star Wars that I've actually got, I don't have any of the Star Wars models, but I've actually got one of those 2001 models. I've got, well, actually, I'm sorry, it's not really a model. Well, I guess it is. It's just the HAL one that you can mount, you can make, and I've actually got a sound card for it and all that. But my local hobby shop, when I was in there yesterday, made me a good offer to buy the oh god, I don't even know what's called, the big globe one that we see people building. Everybody know what that one's called? I don't watch 2001 Space Odyssey a lot, but the big globe one that's got the landing gear. It's got the
pod kind of thing.
the Aries.
yes,
Yeah,
yes, that's it, the Aries. He made me a pretty good offer to take it off his hands yesterday, I think. I don't know, is $200 a good offer for that?
Yeah.
I know that kit runs pretty expensive, so. But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll take it off his hands. I don't know when I get around to building it because I've got so many other models in my stash that.
I just love those era kits. I think they had a Star Destroyer that I may have to pick up too. That was also from MPC. And I just love the kits. I mean, they kind of take you back when you were a kid, when you first started in modeling, because everybody had one. And they're just wonderful. Really enjoy.
Yeah, Cass is going to talk about one of our favorite kits that probably everybody's going to be like, oh my God, it's the biggest headache in the world to put together. Why the heck did you choose that one? But you'll see why when we talk about it. It's a pretty popular kit. But all right, let's see who's up next on our model kit. Nope, I didn't show the back of the packaging. But there's a quick look at the back of the box. And, this one's mine. This is the Klingon Katinga, the 1350. Now, I should say first off that I have not actually built this kit. I have built the 1350 Kronos 1, which is basically the same kit with some modifications to it.
Right.
And I can say from building that it's a well-made kit. It's designed to where it's got lips on it where seams join together to kind of help light block and keep the light from leaking, having a lot of light leaks. The lighting kit for it isn't bad. I actually like the lighting kit for this better than I did the one for the TOS kit that they put out, even though it's basically the same design. It's just different lighting effects. But it's just a well-made kit. I think that Polar Lights has learned their lesson over the years, and this is kind of one of the first ones I think they put out where you really see some of the improvements that they're making to designing their kits. And just like I said, with the lip on around the seams to kind of help prevent light leaks, and the way everything just kind of fits together. I just think it's a great model. It's a nice one. If you're looking to get into model building and you want to start with a larger kit, I think this is probably one of the better kits to start with as far as large scale. We got another one we're going to talk about that Hagen's going to talk about here in a minute, but I think this one and probably that one are one of the better ones to get into for the large scale Star Trek models, because it's just so well designed. Anybody else built this or have any
Yep.
input on it?
Yes, I built one recently, and you're right. It's an excellent kit, very modeler friendly. I too installed the lighting kit and found it to be pretty good actually. And mine's still been up and running. I think I've had it for about a year now, so that's a great choice.
Nice. I also want to say real quick too, if you're in the chat, please feel free to tell us what your favorite models are, and we'll try to feed. I'm trying to watch chat at the same time while I'm talking to everybody. But if you're in the chat room, feel free to let us know what's your favorite model kits, what are your favorite builds, and we'll try to get into some discussion on that as well. But anyway, so one of my favorites, the 1350 Katinga. This also goes for the 1350 Kronos 1, because like I said, they're basically the same model. But there are some inaccuracies on the Kronos 1, which we'll talk about, because that's actually going to come up as one of my favorite builds. But all right, let's see what we got next here. Hagen, this is yours, the Grissom.
Yeah, and I'm throwing a curveball here, I know, because a lot of people were like, the Oberth, really? Like, because this thing just gets a bad rap. Because every time you see it on screen, there's something wrong with it, right?
Right. It's always blowing up.
This, like you were just saying about the Katinga, this was Polar Lights really kind of learning some lessons, but also paying attention with lighting in mind. So they had molded in some really nice wire channels, and the parts just fit together so crisp and clean. And let me try to share my screen here with the photo that I've got that I pulled. I need to select a window because I pulled down one of these that was in progress. Here we go. So this is the last one that I was building, and you can see it just comes together so completely cleanly. You can't even see the seams anymore, and that's just with minimal putty. It wasn't like the 350 refit where you're just you have to spend days puttying and sanding. This thing built itself, and I built 2 of them.
Yeah, because that part you're showing now, there's that lid where that hump is in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
It has a lip all the way around it, if I remember correctly.
All the way around, kind of where my cursor is.
Right, and that's to help so you don't have light leaks, from that, because they knew people were going to light it up. So
fits right in there, and they've got wire channels that I think I'm not sure exactly what gauge wire it can support. I'm using just 30 gauge here.
Yeah, I used wrapping wire, which I think is a 30 gauge, I believe.
Yeah, that's what I'm using here too. But yeah, I mean, I thought that was probably the best photo I could show of like in progress, just how well these things clean up.
Right.
And it's a decent size kit too. It's not gigantic, but when it comes together, it really looks very nice. I modified mine with some front windows because I did this as the undamaged Vico, a civilian ship from the TNG episode Hero Worship.
Right.
And so I thought, well, if it's a civilian ship, let's modify it a little bit. And this does light up, and I've got a little lounge in there.
Did you get the aftermarket grills, chiller grills for that?
I did not.
Okay.
And I kind of wish I had, but
because that's the only thing with that model is if you want to light the warp chiller grills, you've got to get the aftermarket part. And Cass actually has those on his website, but
these parts are a little too thick, so you can't really get away with lighting it and then scraping it. The plastic is just not that translucent.
Yeah, and I'm trying to see if I've got
but yeah,
any photos of mine that show it with the chiller grill lit.
Right up there with the Katinga, if you just want a decent sized model that's very nice and like a real pleasure to put together. There's another beautiful model that's just another example of how I think Polar Lights has kind of learned through the years as far as what works and what doesn't. When designing these models, but yeah, because growing up with the old AMT kits, it was a constant fight, but But yeah, these newer ones, I mean, I feel like that Oberth kit is bordering on Bandai quality fit. That's the best compliment I can give it.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice one. Oh, sorry, I had to stop sharing that screen because I want to share another one here. Well, it may not let me. Let's see. It's interesting. It's not going to let me share that screen. I'm going to have to share the entire screen then. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share this, and it's going to look a little weird for a second. And then I'll pull this up, but y'all can see this, right?
Yep.
The image? Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the one that I did, and that's with Cass's Chiller Grills installed on it.
Oh, that's nice.
But
That's gorgeous.
yeah, unfortunately, this one got damaged on my move out here, and it's sitting on the shelf waiting to get repaired. But it turned out really nice. I used Gary's paint mask from over at Mass Design for it, and followed his steps on it. And it was like Hagen said, it's a beautiful build once you build it up. I was really happy with the way this one turned out.
Look how
Yeah.
crisp the windows are.
Yeah, right. That's all me, baby. That's all we know. the windows come like that on the model, and that's the cool thing is that just you've got those intricate frames. Look how thin those frames are in between the windows, and they just. I wish they would have done that on the refit. I wish I would go back and do that and just make that an integral part, but instead you've got to add photo etch or something in there to get that thin of a window frame in there. But anyway, yeah. So I enjoyed that build as well. I thought that let me take that off now.
Looks really
But,
good, Will.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's your Chiller Grills on there too. They kind of help add something to it, and you
So
can light
tell
it
us
up.
how did you put the lights in that? Did you put like a row of lights, or did you have one LED light, or what did you do?
Actually, here it is right here. And it got damaged, so see it got banged up over here on this pylon, on this warp nacelle. So I've got
Every single Oberth gets banged up.
that's the issue with it. I'm sorry, what were you asking me, Cass?
How did you light those? Like what was your
the Chiller
technique?
Grills have a short strip of a short LED strip in it. I think it was Cobb LED that I put over top of it, and it just shines right down into it. And as far as everything else, everything's Cobb LED strip, except for obviously the marker lights and everything. Those are all SMDs. But yeah, you see it's cracked. Let me make myself bigger here so you can see this. But you see it's cracked. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's a little beat up, so I've gotta get it on the repair bench at some point. And get it fixed up, but
Yeah, that doesn't look too bad to have to repair.
No, it's not too bad. It's definitely repairable. It's just going to take me a little bit to do it. And
It's a flesh wound.
Yeah, more annoying than anything,
Yeah.
right?
Right. So now I've got to. Okay, hang on. Give me a sec. I got to go back and share. Where is? Well, I would like to share the window with the build in it, but it's not. This thing's playing games with me right now, and is not wanting to. Give me a second, guys. I got to figure out why this is not showing. It won't let me go back
when we're live.
I know it won't let me go back to the screen with the images of the. What in the world?
Well, while we got a second, hey Cass, when we're all
Yeah.
done and you got a minute, have Lake Monster there send me an invoice for those Chiller Grills. I want a set of those.
Me too.
Okay.
I think I got a set already sitting around here somewhere.
Do you want blue, clear, or violet?
Blue, please.
Blue? Okay. Everybody wants blue, sure.
But yeah, well, that was always the big debate of, the Grissom, the grills never lit up. No, they were never lit up. And I don't know if they were lit up in the next gen period or not. So,
I don't think, no, as far as I know, there isn't any instance on screen that they're lit.
but it makes
But
sense though. The way, I mean, they are grills, just like,
Yeah.
so it just
Right.
makes sense that they would be lit up.
Yeah, in
there's
DS9,
one-
all those ships had, like the Excelsiors and Mirandas were all lit, so it kind of makes sense that this one would be.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Don, I believe,
Browse
I think,
refresh
made
screen.
some of those pieces that light up for the Reliant class ships and
Mhm.
or the Miranda class. So
Oh yeah, that's right.
I figured with those when that Oberth class model came out, I was surprised that those parts didn't come in clear. And I know that sometimes modelers like options. At least I'm one of them, and so I figured I would do something similar to the
All right,
those
I'm gonna have
Oberth
to.
that I have.
I'm gonna have to just share the entire screen because for some reason it will not let me pull up the tab. It keeps saying that my browser's blocking the tab that it was showing before, so I don't know. But so we'll do this, and it's gonna get a little weird again. But so anyway, that was my pick. Was the 1350 Oberth USS Grissom. It builds up real nice. We've shown a couple pictures about it, and the only reason it's not one of my favorite builds is because it blows up so much. But all right, next one is Chris. I think this was your pick.
Yep. The 1350 Enterprise refit, or my personal favorite variant, the Enterprise A. Now, I know that we said that we were supposed to pick models that are easy to build, that go together really well. This kit is none of those things, but it is definitely my favorite. I have built this kit 4 times now. I kind of feel like I've grown in my modeling career, my model building career with this kit. It's the first variant of a model that I've ever lighted. Actually, the first one was the old Lights and Sound Enterprise, that old 537 from back in the 80s.
The green and
Yes,
wheat
the
bulbs.
special.
Yeah.
It was a special edition, wasn't it?
Special edition. Yeah, the special
Yeah.
edition with the green and wheat bulbs.
Yeah, and the shuttlecraft that was 10 times too big. But but when this kit came out, the Refit Enterprise has always been my favorite ship design of all time. I feel like when they designed this, it was one of the first mic drops in history. It's just so beautiful. It's an elegant ship. I love the detailing on the hull. I love the way everything comes together. It's just, to me, it's the epitome of what a ship should look like. The kit has actually grown with a couple of different iterations. Like the stand has actually gotten better from the first gen version. The first gen version of this kit, the stand actually had 2 struts
yes, I
that
remember
came,
that.
that came off of the dry dock base and came
It
up
held the
into the
saucer up, right?
saucer.
Yeah.
Yeah, into the 2 pegs in the saucer. And that just never looked quite right. So in the second iteration, they figured out a way to do a better display base for it.
Well, I think they figured that the center of gravity, where to put the actual
Yep.
rod through it.
Yeah, because it was not entirely stable. So it was nice that they did that. Then I can't remember if it was the second iteration or if it was a third where they actually did add the Aztec decals into the kit, which was a nice touch to have. I know the first generation definitely didn't have the Aztec decals. But one of the things that I love about this model so much is at the 350 scale, it is a huge ship, but there's just something about it feels comfortable. It comes with the Arboretum interior kit. It comes with the VIP lounge. It comes with a shuttle bay. And to me, each one of those things feels like a separate kit all on its own. So it feels like you're getting a 4-for-1. There are so many additions and changes that you can make to it. So you can certainly build it directly out of the box. You don't need to do anything to it. And it looks like the Enterprise. But there are so many pieces aftermarket. There's the chiller grills, and there's the brass,
The photo etch.
the photo etch stuff that
Yep.
you can add to it. And there's so
And
many different ways to
the
light.
first I want to say the first one or two releases of that also came with the Aztec decals for it.
Oh, did they?
Yep.
Yeah, well, yeah, because I think I
Was it
got
the
the second. I think my first one was the second release, and it had the Aztec decals with it.
Okay,
But
maybe
they're-
it was just the first one that
But
did.
they don't offer it with the Aztec decals anymore. I don't think.
No,
The
no,
last
it's like
one-
I think it was just the first two releases, and then after
Yeah,
that,
no, it's separate
they
now.
decided they could make more money selling them separately. And because
Yeah,
I don't
most of
think the
them.
price came down on the kit any just because they took those
No.
decals out. But
Oh,
price
yeah.
is the same, but not with no decal,
Yeah.
with no Aztec decals.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
but
it's like
the
the
first one I
first
built, it
release.
came with it, and I just built it up standard with I did put some LED strip lights in it. That was the first time I lit a model. Actually, was that one when I built it, and it was just LED strip lights. I didn't do any flashies or blinkies, anything like that. I didn't do the shuttle bay. I think I did a really crappy arboretum and a really crappy officers lounge, but the
We've
shuttle
all
bay.
done that.
Yeah, actually, no, I think I did build the shuttle bay. Actually, yeah, I did do the shuttle bay on it. But I just left the doors on for the most part because I just didn't do a great job on it.
I mean, I just got to echo everything you said about it. I mean, the first time this ship came on the screen, my jaw just dropped. I still think it's one of the most gorgeous models and filming that we've ever seen. I love it. Love the design. I mean, you got to love the TOS, but in my opinion, the refit is the perfect next step. I mean, everything they did in the design and the artwork was just perfect. It's like it came from heaven, and I just love the kit. Like you said, there's so much you can do with it. I think I did the shuttle bay. Half of it you can't even see, but it doesn't matter because it was so much fun to put those little details in. And
Yeah,
I've got
still got to do it.
and stuff inside the shuttle bay, and it's just a wonderful model. I mean, of course, it's frustrating. We all know that. Take a long time. But it's probably my favorite, still my all-time favorite, my whole collection. I bought mine out just to show you guys what I did with mine. There's in so many great models, but it's just a gorgeous kit.
Yeah, and you don't have to do a lot of mods to it. You don't have to do photo etch and all that to make it build up beautifully. Of course, all that adds to it, but it builds up beautiful on its own. Like I said, the first one I built was just the standard kit with some lighting added to it, and that was pretty much it. But yeah, they do build up nice, and it's great that Polar Lights went through the trouble to actually add the hangar bay or the shuttle bay in there, as well as the arboretum and the officers lounge, because they could have just done opaque windows for that stuff or made it to where you couldn't see into there and it just lit up.
Right.
But they took the actual extra step of doing that. The design for the nacelles on this or the pylons are actually way better than the 1537. I think we can all agree.
Oh, this is one of the most superior pylon designs I've ever seen in a Starship.
Yeah,
the
the
way that it connects
1537
to the secondary hull.
Yeah, the 1537 had so many issues with drooping over time or just snapping off altogether.
Mhm.
But the pylons are definitely way better designed on this model kit. And it's not a bad kit for someone that's just getting into it to start with, but there are some things that need to be done to tweak it. To me, to really make it pop and make it more accurate, because there are some inaccuracies on the model. Not a lot, but there's a couple that and Cass has. You got parts for those too, I think, don't you? Don't you have 1350 parts for that? Because I think one of them is the impulse stick.
Yes.
Is that one of the things that gets updated on that to make it a little more accurate?
That, and then I've got a couple of parts I'm coming out with for it. I haven't have my website yet, but hopefully soon. I'm going to have a new sensor dome on the bottom. That's coming. I've got some pieces for the warp engines. What are they called? They're
magnetomic. The magnetomic flux chiller or something like that. I don't know. Everywhere you look, there's a different name for those.
And I've got a couple of interior pieces too. If you want to have an alternate version of the lounge, or if you want to do the dining room from Star Trek 6, you can do that. I'd like to come out with a accurate version of the lounge eventually, because the one that comes with the kit is not. That's one thing they did get wrong, I think, was the lounge piece that goes inside.
Hey, send me that dining room from Star Trek 6 also.
Okay. You just drop a list and I'll see what I can do.
Yeah,
Put it on your Christmas
that's
list.
everybody.
Yeah.
That's Lake Monster Details. That's right, Lake Monster Details. Make sure to
That's
shop
it, yep.
shop Cass.
And
Oh,
while
yeah,
we're
I
on
just-
you, Cass, I think the next one is, let's see here. It's still not, let me share that one tab. So let me share my screen again. And bam, we'll pull that up because this one is yours. This one's all you, buddy.
Yeah.
This is the 1537 refit. Since we just talked about the 1350, we can talk about some of the contrasting, contrasting differences between the two.
Sure. Did you get that picture I sent of the Star Trek
I
4
did.
box?
I've got it right there.
There it is. All right. That's it. That's
What a
the,
beauty that was.
Oh,
The box art. The box
Was
art.
that the version without the horrible sunken in grid lines and all that?
Yep. Yep. They
Yep.
all do except for the motion picture one, which I've also got right there.
Oh.
That's the smoothie. That's the OG there.
So the newer versions still have all of the grid lines on them?
Unfortunately,
They do.
I keep hearing rumors that they might retool it, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I mean, it is one of their big money makers, I think, because I think that 1537 is kind of a the bearer of their income as far as models, because it's been so long and it's such a cheap, it's an inexpensive version compared to like the 1350. So it's
I
easier
would,
for people to get their hands on.
I would not hold your breath on any retooling of that kit.
No,
It-
it's funny because when you look at this box art that I'm showing now, which is one of the more recent reissues, the hull looks smooth on this for the most part. I mean, you can
Well,
see,
I'm wondering, fix that or not.
but I think this is one of the more recent ones. And then Cass, of course, every time they came out with another movie, you got a new reissue of it. Sorry, Cat.
Well, this,
My
yeah. So
barriers
this
is fine.
one,
Let me just move my microphone off.
I was sure that people would probably want to shoot me for putting this one out as the kit that pulls on my heartstrings, but it does. This is the kit, and this picture. This is a kit that I bought from a guy a year ago for $20. Even the box is all
Yeah.
in bad shape, but it brought back memories. The original kit is long gone, but this is a kit that I know we're kind of running out of time, so I'll make a real quick story. I was in third grade, and my third grade teacher was a Star Trek fan, and he always talked about the movie about where they go back to the whales. And I didn't really know what he was talking about because I'd only seen the cartoon, and so he said, our last chapter of the school year was going to be outer space and the planets and all of that. And if everybody did a good job on the subject, we would watch a Star Trek movie at the end of the year. And I was like, oh, finally, I'll know what he's talking about with the whole thing with the whales. And so when we actually got to watching the movie, it was not the one about the whales. It was The Wrath of Khan. And this is, keep in mind, we're 8 years old and we're watching The Wrath of Khan. We're watching eels going into people's ears and Khan with half of his face burned off, and just not a movie for third graders. But I remember just watching this movie. I had never seen a movie like this in my life ever, and my imagination went wild like it never has before. And I mean, I was obsessed with that movie that entire summer. And I think towards the end of the summer, we went I went with my dad to the store to get some stuff. It was called Tractor Supply Company. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it.
Yeah, we've got them around.
Yeah, we do too.
Okay. And they sell like cowboy boots and farm stuff and whatever. But I went into the toy section, and of all stores, there was the kit, that Star Trek 4 refit, and Tractor Supply Company of all places. And I went running looking for my dad, and I grabbed my dad and I dragged him to the toy section and I begged him to get this kit for me. And Well, he didn't say no. So, and I'm pretty sure that my life would be very different if I wouldn't have found that kit, because I've been addicted to modeling ever since, and I was 8 years old at that time. I did a couple of Star Trek kits. I think I did the Klingon cruiser, or the D7, right? Will? With
Yes.
the little, yeah, I think I did
Yeah, the one that I've got the studio scale version of
Right.
that you're doing something for me on.
Right.
Yeah, that's a D7.
So I think that was the second Star Trek kit that I ever built, and then I kind of built other things after that, and then I got into ships, and now I'm into tall ships. But I still have some Star Trek kits that I've since bought since I started doing Lake Monster, um, and I kind of want to get into those as well. But that kit started it for me, not just Star Trek, but my third grade teacher got me into Star Trek. It was the model itself that got me into the modeling hobby. So that's why it's a
I think
terrible
that's the one that
kit,
got a
but
lot of people. I think it's the one that got a lot of people into. Not that
Yeah.
one. That got a lot of people into, especially Star Trek models. Was this one here, the 1537, which is
Oh yeah.
which is why, even though it's got its issues, that's why we're talking about this as one of our favorite kits, because just about everybody that's built or that's into building Star Trek models has built one of these. And so I think it's worth mentioning this as a favorite kit, because even with its issues, just about everybody's probably built this kit. I mean, you had this one. Chris had mentioned the special edition, which had the lights that came in. And I had that one too. Was the came with the lights and that you could put into it. It came with a lighting kit.
hmm
And, that one was pretty cool. I think, did that have sound effects too, Chris? I don't remember.
It did. It had a speaker built
just
into the
worked.
base with a
Phaser.
nut with phaser knob for phaser torpedo
Photon.
sounds.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
But you could still find some of these motion picture kits. They're hard to come by.
Somebody was
But
walking
they're
out of
still out.
Wonderful with a box of, and say he said it was a smoothie. I was about to knock him up on top of the head and grab it from him.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. Well, if it's not the motion picture, it's not the smoothie, because this one here, the Wrath of Khan, this is the one they retooled. This is when after it was retooled.
God,
This
that was
one is
expensive.
probably harder to find than the motion picture one, believe it or not, because here's the thing about these two models. So the motion picture movie came out in 79.
Mhm.
The model, I believe, was released in 80, was a little bit after the movie. Well, Wrath of Khan came out in what, 82, I believe?
Yep, 82.
Well, the model for the Wrath of Khan didn't come out till 84. So you're talking about 2 years after, and I think probably it was delayed because of the retooling they were doing on it, which I wish they hadn't done. But according to what I've looked up on the history of these models, this one here, the Wrath of Khan, didn't come out till 84.
Just in
So-
time to see it blow up on the big screen.
Right, because that's the same year that Star Trek 3 came out, which
Yep.
is why I think you have fewer of these than you do the motion picture smoothie version, because the smoothie had a 4-year run before this version came out. This version came out, and then exactly probably not even a year later, the Star Trek 3 version came out.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So, but I say that, but obviously they're the exact same model between Wrath of Khan and 3. So it really doesn't matter. The only thing that changes is the box art. So the model's the same, but the box art, as far as boxing, this one's probably the hardest one to come by, because it only had about a 1-year run before Star Trek 3 came out. And of course, they rebranded everything for Star Trek 3. So I thought that was interesting. I'm like, I didn't realize that. I did not realize that kit for Wrath of Khan didn't come out till 84. And that would explain why you don't see as many of those as you do the motion picture. Why there's so many, seems to still be so many of the motion picture or smoothie versions sitting out there, even though they go for a pretty dime, because they are getting rarer and rarer the further away from that date we get.
Mhm.
But
Well, even like the way they made kits back then, even like up until the 90s, they would run thousands and thousands and thousands of kits.
That's why there were so
Where
many.
nowadays,
Yeah.
nowadays they only run a certain number, maybe a couple thousand. It's very different from from what it was, 20, 30 years ago. They would seriously, they would print an entire warehouse of one kit.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing because Adam just commented that you love this kit because you sell so many replacement parts to make it better.
Great comment.
Well, that's not
completely true. In Cass's
it-
defense, it's not just a marketing ploy. He actually
helps.
does have a history with this model, and that's one of the reasons why he has parts for it. But
Right.
it was a funny comment. 'Cause I'm like, maybe a little bit.
Let's just say that it does help. It does help why I love the kit so much more as a 45-year-old adult as opposed to an 8-year-old kid. So,
Right. Cass, I know we're getting close to an hour. I know you said you had to cut out, and I know Hagen's getting close. I need to get to Hagen's next pick so he can discuss it in case he's got to duck out. But Cass, if you got to duck out, let us know. And,
okay, I'll do that. I'm good for a little longer.
Go for a couple more minutes. All right. So
Yeah,
let's
same.
take a look at. You're good too, Hagen, for a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, we already talked about that. So actually, Hagen, here's your next pick.
So this, I don't have one on me. I picked that one also just because it was a lot like the Oberth, where the tooling detail on this was amazing, like especially in the phaser rays. The windows are all uniformly shaped, and it's just another example of something that fits together like a glove with no warping or anything like that. I have two of these. I still have to build one.
Do you have both versions? Because it came in a clear and a opaque version.
Yeah, I got both translucent.
Okay. Yeah, because I know it did come in. Like this box specifically says it's the clear edition. But I haven't built this one either myself, but I've heard nothing but good things about it. I've actually recommended it a couple times to people asking what's a good model, Star Trek model to start off with, just because of the recommendations I've heard from other people and the comments I've heard about it. I keep forgetting this is a snap kit because it looks so good, and the builds I've seen people doing of these, it looks so good. I'm like, really? It's a snap kit?
Yep. Yeah.
Of course,
and
of course we glue it.
Is completely loaded. Like this thing has all kinds of detail, and it really is only about this big. I mean, it's not a huge. It's not a
So
huge.
you were
model.
saying it could be built up to Bandai quality, right? And I've actually got the Bandai. I've actually got the Bandai one. Right.
Oh, those are hard to come by. Kind of expensive.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, well, I got a good. Hang on, keep dropping my microphone. I got a good deal on this one. Let me minimize this a second and come back. Take that off. But
It's what
well,
I would call
here's-
like a great starter kit that just turned out beautiful.
see all that dust come off? It's been sitting on the shelf. But this is the Bandai version, but I think this is about the same scale.
It's,
that.
yeah, thereabouts. I think that one's what? It's like 800 scale or something.
Yeah, it might be a little bit bigger than what that.
I think it's
builds up
just
to, but-
slightly bigger.
Yeah, this is one of the things I love about Wonderfest because I actually came across this at Wonderfest 2 years ago and I bought it
Nice.
because the guy gave me a great deal on it. I got this and what was the other one I got? I got two of these. I got this and I got the NX01 for like $300. And you see this one goes for sometimes $400 or $500 if you
Oh, yeah.
that's what they ask for it. But I've seen these being people asking $400 or $500 just for the Voyager one.
Yeah, that and the Sovereign class too.
Hey, Will,
Yeah.
hold that Voyager. Hold it up again so you can see the side profile, like straight level. Okay, so when I see that, yeah, perfect. Does
Hey,
anybody else see
was
that?
this a Sternbach design?
I think
Was this
yeah.
Rick's
I think
design?
that was it was an early. Well, it was a later Sternbach design.
Yeah, it was.
It wasn't the first design he did.
No,
the
but
first
I know
design
that-
was later renamed Jaeger class.
Yeah.
Yes.
which I'm not
So-
a big fan of that. But hey, to each his own.
Yeah.
So when you guys see that side profile of the ship, does anybody else see a dachshund? Like a dog, like a wiener dog?
A dachshund,
Well, I do now.
maybe a little
Yeah.
bit.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Only because
Now
my
we're gonna get
face is
image out
in the
of my head
picture.
now.
Thanks, Hagen.
I always thought that the side profile of Voyager looks like a dachshund.
It could. It's got that short body, big head.
Yeah.
that
Can
kind
you
of thing.
still,
Or the
Hagen,
lo-
can
or
you
the-
still fold the wings? Are the wings still foldable or?
Oh
Or
yeah,
do you
yeah.
have-
The wings are foldable on this.
Okay. In
But you
the
know what?
kit one, the model one.
Oh,
They
on
are,
the
yeah.
1000, I believe so.
Okay.
Hagen build it. Hagen
Yeah, they
knows.
will actually snap into place.
Wow. Okay. I always thought that was kind of neat. If you could, you could have some articulation with those kids.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
old Monogram one would do that too, but it was really difficult to get it to move and just not get glue everywhere and accidentally just seal them into place. On the 1000, it's a lot easier. They give you pins.
Yeah, somebody let's see. I'm trying to look back to these comments. Oh, here it is. So Revo Dave said he hated drilling out all the windows on his Revell Voyager, which that's the what are those, the 1650 kits? Those are the bigger. I've got one.
Yeah, it's an odd scale. It's like 1677.
670. Yeah, 670.
I actually have the, I think there was a Monogram and a Revell kit, and I had both. I think I sold the Monogram because the Revell was just a better, even though it's the same kit, for some odd reason, Revell, the windows were actually better than on the Monogram. It was just like square blocks, and Revell actually had them, I think, individually in there.
Yeah, they got the window counts right with the double and triples.
Yeah, so I sold the Monogram one because I was only going to build one of them, and I was like, well, I'll just the only reason I even bought both of them was just to compare them to on my channel. I think I did a video on it a couple of years ago, but yeah, so it's still going to be fun. It might be another thing I do, window inserts. We'll see. We'll see. All right, let's see. Moving right along. Let's see what our next. I'm trying to think. What else we got left on here? Okay, is it going to let me move? Oh, maybe, is that it? All right, we talked about the TOS. We talked about the 537. We talked about that. We talked about the Grissom, the Katinga, Millennium Falcon. I think that's it. Did I miss anything?
I didn't bring you up, but this is another one that I think was a great kit.
Close this
Ooh.
window. Let me bring you up. Hang on.
All right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The one
So
that every
it's
Hobby Lobby store had.
Exactly. So I mean, one of the things I loved about this one was just that the detail of it was just right for the toss. You could do all the pilot. You could do the different versions of it. I liked it because I was actually able to build it with my son. Because it was something easy to put together. Didn't take a lot of skill. But I also love it because I can I could kit bash with it. Because you got extra nacelles, you got some extra parts in it, so you can start kit bashing things with and make different starships out of it. So, but I think the detail was great. Came with it whether you wanted to do the decals or you want to do stickers on it. If you wanted to do the Mirror Universe, you could do the Mirror Universe ISS Enterprise. So I think it was.
Oh, nice.
I think it's a great kit, and there's so many out there. Something to great with for kids, to get them into modeling. And my son, when he was younger, he saw me build a model. He said, "I want to build one." So I picked up this toss kit, and he built one himself.
Now, I've never built that version before. Is that a snap together?
It does. It is a snap together, but like most people, we still glue it.
Yeah.
So the only thing I would say, originally, I mean, and again, it came with, it's got the nice little base with rod on it and stuff. So yeah, the different decals or the stickers for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want.
I think that's another one of those, just like the 537 refit, that a lot of people, especially in the Star Trek models, has built.
Hmm.
Either that or the 16. What is that? The 1000?
That's the 1000. Yep, that's the 1000.
Either that or the 16650 TOS.
Hmm.
I think a lot of people probably built that one too. So
Yeah, I had one of those.
Yep.
but I think it's a pretty good. So that's pretty much our selections for favorite kits. And like I said, for the most part, a lot of them are because of the design and how easy they are to build, how easy they go together. But we do have a couple that, even though they fit together like crap, they're favorite kits because everybody's probably built these kits. Adam on the chat has mentioned he's shocked the Franklin isn't on the list. I actually thought about putting the Franklin on, but I have not built that kit yet. I have it. That was actually Mobius.
AMC?
Mobius. That's a Mobius kit. I think the 2001 kits are Mobius, aren't they?
Believe so.
Yeah, I believe so. But it does look like a really nice kit. I have seen. Oh, wait. Hagen's he's coming through for us. Look what he's got.
I haven't dusted this off in a little while. I kind of did mine sort of a, TOS color scheme instead of metallic. But yeah, this was a really fun one, and this will light too, and it's got the aftermarket like bridge interior. Yeah, that was a fun one for sure.
Yeah, I've got that, and I've actually got the actual
Nice
lighting
size,
kit they
yeah.
put out for that. Did you use the actual lighting kit for that, or do your own lighting on it?
I did a Tenna Controls.
Yes,
Kit for it.
actually, that's what I've got for it. It's the Tenna Controls lighting kit for it. So I've got to get that built sometime. I've had quite a few models in my stash for years, and I've got to get
It's
around to
fun.
building those.
You just have to be careful about the wire gauge in the pylons here because there's really not much room. I wish I had known about magnet wire before when I did this one because my wires were a little bit thick.
Is that would the wrapping wire be good for that, or is that still too thick?
Oh yeah, that'd be perfect. Yeah, I
Okay.
wouldn't use any wire with like thick insulation because it gets really tough to sandwich these pylons into place. I had to really clamp them down. Other than that, no, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Hey,
looks
what
like it.
scale would you say that one is?
It's supposed to be 1/350.
Okay.
Yeah, then the cells look about right. The saucer is really
Yeah.
small in that, but it's an earlier
Scales
NX
pretty
version.
well
So
with my refit over
because
here.
is that an NX or is that actually have an NCC?
NX 326.
Yeah. Okay. So it's going to have a smaller saucer. I think that was actually that would have been that would have been after. That's funny because the 1350 NX01 was way bigger than that, but that would have been after the NX01.
Yeah. This is the one with see if I can get it up here where they actually have the registry molded in.
Yeah.
Which is kind of unusual, but it really doesn't look bad.
Yeah. That's something I'm not a big fan of, but it if you do it right, I'm sure it looks good. It looks good to me in that picture, the way you're showing it. So
Yeah, what I ended up doing was instead of paint, I used like a Tamiya panel line wash on the inside.
oh, okay. Gotcha.
Just
All
gave
right.
it that little bit of shading so it wasn't so stark and contrasty.
So Hagen, since you're able to share your screen and I've got to share everybody else's, and while I'm setting them up, why don't you do you mind starting us off with what are some of your favorite builds now that I said we're going to stick to an hour, and here we are an hour and 10 minutes in just getting to favorite builds. So
Well, in terms of builds, let me get my screen share going. So I have to show the 1650 Sovereign here.
are you ready for me to share this? Because I've got to share it on my end too.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Okay. I just don't want to share anything if you're not ready. All right. And this is your build. This is the really big one that you did, isn't it?
Are you seeing the full photo on my desktop?
No, we're just seeing the folder where all your
okay.
photos are of it.
I selected the wrong window. 1 second.
Okay. You just close it out and
You know what? Let's do this.
just go get the actual model, huh? It's the easiest way to do it.
Here we go.
There we go. Let me make you enlarge that here. Oh my God,
yeah.
that thing is beautiful.
So this is taken down off its stand because the threaded plug, you can kind of see
My God, man, look at the size of that thing.
the opposite end. The threaded fastener failed, so I just got to fix it.
What's the scale on that one again?
This is the 650.
650. Whew.
Was this the original REL or was this the Kit Factory? Which one?
This is Marshall Models.
because Marshall's. Well,
Yep, so
it's the same one from that Kit Factory had. And
I've got that
Yeah, I
sitting
think
in the box at home waiting for me.
Yeah, she's a big one.
It's one of the ones Jonathan Marshall put out, huh? That's the same one as my 537B. Is Jonathan Marshall's model.
Yeah, so this took me about 2.5 years.
Man, that paint job is gorgeous on that thing.
Yep.
And this was a tough one, kind of like the 350 refit. This was a rite of passage for sure. Like,
Yeah.
I feel
Is
like
that so is that the original version or is that the Nemesis version?
this is Nemesis,
Okay, so that's what
but I
the
painted
model.
it in first contact colors.
Is it a resin kit?
Yes.
What was that?
It's a
Those
fiberglass.
are the resin kit. Yeah, those are fiberglass
Fiberglass,
backed usually from
um,
from Jonathan Marshall. Those are usually fiberglass backed.
Yeah, most of it's fiberglass. The pylons are urethane, and they are molded with brass channels for wiring in them.
Okay. Yeah, like on the Enterprise B I have, that is a fiberglass back for the saucer and main hull, but then it's got a lot of 3D printed parts, including the nacelles. I think are 3D printed.
But
The
yeah,
head-
it's,
Do you have any armature in that? Is it just pieced together?
it's got so there's a brass tube coming up here, and then I've given it some frame all the way forward and back. The neck really didn't need anything because this cutout section here, you can't really see it, but this was part of the top saucer piece.
Yeah.
And the way that this fits in this area here, you got plenty of support. So I didn't give that anything. I really just gave it a stabilizer that was like brass brackets that were welded
Gotcha.
for the stand tube to keep it from wobbling too much.
Gotcha.
I think there's an argument to be made, and I know some people disagree, but I think if you've got the difference between like the Helios and the Marshall models is that the Helios is strictly a 3D print,
Yep.
whereas Marshall models is fiberglass backed, so it's not. I don't think it's as important to have a support structure in those versus the Helios models. You definitely want one in because they're 3D print.
The Helios
resin.
for sure.
Yeah.
We're starting to see examples, and this is not like I'm not calling them crap or anything because I built the Helios Excelsior. But the larger ones like the Enterprise D, they're offering armatures for them now,
Right.
which is
Yeah, I
definitely
saw that.
necessary because resin. So pressure cast stuff like Marshall models is really tough. You just can't beat pressure cast stuff.
Yeah.
But
To
with,
add to that real quick, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
no, go for it.
Jonathan Marshall is actually a friend of mine. We've been talking for a couple years, and I bought a 1350 Reliant from him, and that's how I kind of learned about what he does and how he builds stuff and worked up from there. I had a long conversation with him about that Sovereign model. He actually has taken that saucer after he, fiber backed it, and he stood on top of it, and it didn't buckle. And he looked at me and he said, "Chris, I don't recommend doing this," but he did it, and he battle tested it, and it's that good and that strong that he stood on it, and there was no buckling whatsoever.
It's awesome. And it's a heavy model. That's why my stand plug fastener finally failed after a couple years.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
just-
You can tell that thing's got some weight to it for sure.
I think I weighed it once, and it came in at about 10 pounds.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So what else you got, Hagen? Was that the one you were going to show, or was there other ones you were going to show for favorite builds?
Well, I guess we could look
Where's your
at-
bird of prey? Where's your bird of prey with the shipping that you did?
Oh, here, let me just get you the photo of that one because I don't think my share is working. I have it right here.
Hey, Will.
Yes.
I can hear my girlfriend calling me from downstairs, so I got to get going.
All right, Cass, it's good seeing you, buddy.
Good seeing you.
Take care,
guys.
Cass.
We'll see you
Take
again
care.
soon.
Take care now. Bye.
Here we go.
All right, and then there were 5. All right, what did you send something to me, or are you sharing it?
I'm trying to share.
Oh,
I'm
there
not
it
sure.
is. There it is. Yep, I can see it.
That's awesome. Look at that.
Yeah, that was gorgeous. I
What the
saw
hell
when
is the
you,
boat?
Yeah.
That was a
There
fun
be
one.
whales, Captain.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful build, man. That was some great
Yeah.
work on that. Look at how that's lit up.
Love the
That could
diorama.
almost be a still shot from the movie if you had clouds in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the
So
ship
what all
itself.
went in, so what all went into this, Hagen?
So this is actually the Generations Bird of Prey kit that was listed as 1/650 scale, but it's really the same thing as the 1/350.
Right.
Just
Mhm.
molded in gray. I only had to do some slight modification to get the wings at the right angle. But I went digging around and found, all that interesting history about the whaling ship, which was a YMS Minesweeper called the Golden
Mhm.
Gate that they modified for the film.
Oh wow.
And so I stuck some extra stuff on it. It's not completely accurate, but
You went into deep
it's
research on that one, huh?
yeah, it's in scale with the Bird of Prey, which means it appears a lot larger. But that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do that particular scene in scale
Right.
and not try to duplicate the cinematic effect. There are some whales that you can see. I'm not sure if my cursor shows, but
Don't see your cursor.
basically, if you look at the bow of the ship where that harpoon launcher is supposed to be, and then look directly into the water in front of the ship, you'll see those two shadows.
You've actually got whales in there?
Yep.
My
There be
God.
whales here.
I did
Look
the
at
whales, and believe it or not, they will fit.
Now I can't tell. How is the is there a pole that's just not visible in this angle for the bird of prey?
I'm
that's
kind
put
of
up?
hiding it behind the ship mast.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, because I was gonna say, how's your wiring getting up there, man? That is really cool. You have other pictures that you shared before on this, and it's just an awesome build. Anytime I like these dioramas, I kind of want to do one with the bird of prey myself, but I want to do it as it's sitting on Vulcan with. Uh-oh. Why did all my? Okay, there you are. Oh, there we go. Oh, this thing is being a little sketchy today. But
Yeah, out of all the stuff that I've done, like that
There we
massive
go.
Sovereign class, the Potemkin that I just finished with a paint job that I'm really happy with, that diorama still remains probably my most favorite thing I've ever done.
yeah, and anytime they like people build dioramas and put all that stuff into it is really cool to see. I kind of like I was getting ready to say before I got distracted with the screen not acting right. I was going to say I want to do one with that, but I want to use, and I'm going to talk about this as one of my favorite builds here shortly. Oh, you know what? I did forget one thing though. Let me back up a second since we're talking about the bird of prey real quick. Let me share this. I have to share my entire screen again. Share. And I did not talk about this. Was one of my favorite models as well. Was the Golden Armor Bird of Prey, and this is the website for it. But I think his name's Christopher. I forget. I forget his name. I think it's Christopher that did the 3D design. He actually did whales for this too, that are in scale with the model.
Nice.
So you can actually print the model out as is. It's about a 3-foot wingspan on it. And this did, when I built it, it did take there's a metal insert that he sends you the files to have it cut out, which I've actually got. I had somebody contact me the other day that's looking to buy one of those from me because I've still got like 3 or 4 of them because it was cheaper for me to buy like 6 of them at one time instead of just having them do one. So I did that.
They
But
supply the files, and you can send them to like a laser cutting service.
Yep, and that's what I did. I took it to a local laser cutting metal cutting service in town, and had them actually CNC the file, CNC the insert, and you'll see that here.
That's cool. That's how I did the saucer disc armature I did for the Excelsior class, the Helios one. I just I drew it up and sent it to
somebody.
service.
Yeah. And it's actually, since I bought the files for this, he's actually made some improvements. This is one that I think I kind of got him to do. I was going to do this, and he went and did it quicker. So, because one thing, there is a little part of me in this model too, and that is on the cannons. There's the insert. There's the piece that you have machined right there, and it's got a mounting hole and all that. But the one little piece of me that's in this model, if I can find a good picture of it, is if this one's got the updated files. I don't think this one does. You'll notice on these ones that there's no guard that comes out. There's supposed to be a guard that comes out behind the cannons. I actually made that modification myself. And you see, he's got everything in here. You can do the landing gear. You can have
I
them
don't
land in
think we're
position.
seeing your screen.
Are you
At
not
least
seeing my
I'm not.
screen?
Nope. No.
What? All right, hang on. Let me see here. Oh, it would help if I shared it, wouldn't it? All right, not that one. All right, how about now?
Here we go. Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So let me go back then. But yeah, so here's the website for it from goldenarmor.com. He's got the whales, like I said, that are in scale with the model. The model itself is a 3-foot wingspan, but it can be upscaled. I think you got to upscale it by like 160% in order for it to be studio scale. But you can print this, and there are people that are printing this as studio scale. And I think there's some pictures on here. But I was mentioning this mechanical bay was not as detailed as it is now. I was actually working to do this for my build, and I showed the file, showed him what I was doing, and he went in and did it better and faster. So I ended up just using his file. But yeah, you can see the difference between this is the standard print as the file comes. This is the upscaled print, I believe. That's what it looks like. So this one has a 3-foot wingspan. This one's going to have way larger. Like I said, you've got to print it at 163.5% to get it to studio scale.
That's gorgeous.
But here's that plate I was talking about that you have CNC'd. You send off, have it machined. So I've got like a couple of these because I only used one because I've only built one of these so far, but I would love to build another one if I can ever find the time. But it's just a beautiful model. Like I said, I think his name's Christopher or Christoph. I can't remember his last name right now. It's drawing the blank, but I communicated with him a couple times because I did a modification to the wing cannons. If I can find a closer picture, here's the landing gear. All that goes together. There's the whales shown in scale. Let's see, landing gear. All right, so when you look at this doesn't, these are older pictures. This is the older version. It doesn't have there's a guard that comes out behind this. If you look at the studio model, wasn't in his files, and I added that. And I know he's got pictures of mine on here further down. Still missing on those, but there's a close-up of the cannons. But see, these are still missing the guard on it. Let me get down the bottom because I know he's got pictures of mine on here too. But there's your instructions, easy to follow instructions on how everything goes together. It goes together real nice, just like the more recent 1350 Polar Lights kits. I mean, this thing just clicks together, and it's got lips on the inside to help prevent light leakage. The wings do pose, so you can put them in all 3 configurations. They are locked in place. Here's someone's build in progress. There's that plate that you see, but it looks like he 3D printed this instead of either that or he machined it and had painted it. I can't tell by that, but there's your lower. This is actually my build here in progress. You can see how those baffles go in. But if I was to build another bird of prey, it would be, even if I scaled this down to 1/350, I would build this before I built the AMT or the Polar Lights version because it's just such a beautiful build. But anyway, so that's my favorite, one of my favorite models. Since we were talking about the bird of prey, I did forget to mention that this Golden Armor 3D print is just, it's a great model. It goes together real nice. Awesome. If you've got a 3D printer and you're even thinking about building the 1/350, I would get this and then scale it down by like 50% maybe. I'm not sure what the actual scale down is for 1/350 on this, but it's a beautiful model. So I would give it a look. And like I said, if you've got a 3D printer, definitely try that one out. But I'm sorry, Hagen, that I interrupted you there, but we were talking about the bird of prey, so it was a good opportunity to plug that in.
No, I'm good. I
did
actually
forget to mention that.
No, you're fine. I'll have to run here in a minute.
Okay. Was that the any other favorite builds, or was that it?
No, that I think
pretty much it.
Covered it.
Okay. I mean, you got other favorite builds, but those are the ones that you meant to.
Yep.
To
it's hard
about.
to pick just one, you know.
Right. Yeah, definitely. So let me. I'll do one of my favorite builds this time. Let's see if I've got it here. This one is definitely not a favorite model, but let me not forget to share the screen again. Oh, hang on. You know what? What's this tab? Let me close that. Maybe this will let me share the. You know what? I had an extra tab open in the background. Maybe this will let me share the window now. Yes, it will. There we go. All right. Is that showing up? Can everybody see that now? Or
No.
no, because I'm not sharing it yet, dummy. All right. So this is the War Rocket from Flash Gordon 1980. And I had no intentions of building. This wasn't even on my radar to build. But what happened was, I think it's every January or February, they do a virtual TrekCon on the web that's free to go to. I think Cirroc Lofton hosts it or something. But on one of them I was watching, and John Eves was on there. And in the background, you could see this rocket ship in the background. And everybody's like, what ship is that back there? I'm like, I know what ship that is. I've seen that before. I watched this movie like 100 times when I was a kid. So I pulled it up, and it's a War Rocket Ajax, and I showed it to everybody. And in talking to John Eves, the reason he had that back there was because he was the one that did the design for the model that was put out by, oh God, what was the name of the company? They did a finished model that they put out. I can't remember the name of it right now. But anyway, once I saw that model, I was like, you know what? I went and looked. I found 3D files for it. And it was just, it's not one of my favorite kits because it was a beast to put together, because it had a lot of inaccuracies. It had some inaccuracies that I went in and corrected on my own. You can see I did an interior on it. That's part of the lighting for it. You guys are seeing these, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. But I redid the entire, there was a file for the cockpit of this, and it wasn't close to what the studio model or what it looked like in the movie. So I went and totally redid this cockpit to more closely resemble what it looked like in the movie. And that's what I came up with. And these are just some progress photos of the build. I was testing out the lighting, testing out the paint, making sure everything looked good before I went to the next step. But yeah, I didn't so much enjoy the build as I enjoyed how it turned out. And I built a custom stand. I think everybody has seen this at Wonderfest, because I brought this one to Wonderfest year before last. And of course, the base, all the buttons work. They have different sound effects to them, different sound bites from the movie, I guess you'd say. Everything on the stand lights up, and the model itself turned out really nice. I was really surprised that I was able to, if you notice this right here, this is micro crystal clear. And I was really surprised that it did as good of a job as it did filling these in as big as these openings are. But it did a really good job filling that in. And you can see how those lit up. You can see that one there anyway in the front. But definitely one of my favorite builds. Like I said, didn't enjoy the build so much as I enjoy how it turned out. And this one actually got photographed. Nope, not that one. This one actually got photographed by Fine Scale Modeler magazine at Wonderfest. So I like the way that one turned out. But anyway, so that's one of my favorite builds. Let's see, Steve, what do you got?
Oh, I have a
Hagen had to bow out, I guess. He didn't say.
I have a Death Star. This is, I think, it's an NPC kit. I think. It was not a lot of fun to build. It comes in like 4 halves. It's about the size of a small basketball. The parts didn't fit together very well. I kind of struggled with it, but it was a lot of fun. It's got a lot of room, a lot of space inside of it. So the one I tried to do was a version of the Death Star 2 where they were building it. So I kind of carved out a lot of it, put some details in. I kind of handmade. I have a lighting system from Tenet Controls that when you get close to it, it'll light up. And then I kind of built the weapon, which is kind of my most fun part. So there it is, the light that comes out of it. So when you walk,
Nice.
when you like motion sensor, so when they're going in the laundry room, the Death Star will fire at them. That's kind of
That's great.
yeah.
That's
So, yeah,
awesome.
I had a lot of fun with it. I tried to match the paints up with the Death Star 2, and it's just it was a pain in the butt kind of to build because of the fit issues, but the way it came out, I was really pleased with it, and I just had a lot of fun lighting it, a lot of fun painting it, a lot of fun making the details and the customization. So that was one of my favorite builds.
Awesome. Yeah, that looks good. A lot of work that went into that. It looks very detailed as far as the model kit itself.
No, you said that you actually cut it up because it was that actually the full Death Star originally.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh wait,
And then
you did the damage to it.
What'd you say?
Did you? So you did all the damage and interior
Right,
to it.
right. So I carved out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then I just basically kind of scratch built, and I did this before I had a 3D printer. So I just found a lot of pieces and just kind of glued them into place and painted them, and I got some lighting that I kind of put inside. I don't have the lights hooked up right now. They're kind of out of scale, to be honest with you, but they're brighter. So it turned out pretty well, actually.
Yeah, but that's pretty cool though. That's awesome that you did all that custom work to it.
Yeah,
Looks
it was
great.
fun. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Nice. So did you have any other favorite builds, Steve, or was that pretty much?
Oh, I got one more. I got.
Oh, I know you got some other ones because I've seen you doing some builds.
Yeah, the Romulan Warbird, and another kid that probably everybody has. Again, not the most fun model to build because of some of the fit issues, but I kind of like it because the color scheme is a little bit different. You're used to the grays and the starships, but this one had some kind of color that you could, the greens that and the yellows that are part of the kit. And so the Bird of Prey, it's a good size kit. One of the few Romulan ships. I really like the Romulan designs. I like the shuttles. I like some of the other ships. The Valdor is really nice that they have.
Mhm.
You don't see a whole lot of them. I think this is the only regularly produced Romulan ship that they came out with. I think the rest of them are all custom or 3D prints, or they're scratch built, or they're something else. But this was a fun kit to build.
And that's supposed to be a huge ship, isn't that scale like 1/4000 or something like that? It's
Right.
some
Apparently,
crazy scale, isn't it?
in the space of this, that's how big these ships are supposed to be.
Yeah, 'cause it
One
was like
guy
twice the
had
size of the
a-
Enterprise D.
Twice the size.
Yeah, crazy.
So
One
that's
guy
probably
had-
like a 12500 or something like that. It's I know
Yeah,
it's
I think
crazy
it's
scale.
2500 scale because I think it was because they originally just came out with the Adversary kit because it had the Klingon Bird of Prey and the Ferengi
Yep.
and that. Then I think they all just offered the the Romulan Warbird as its own kit.
That was a newer
Yeah.
development past couple of years,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah, I know because I know in TNG when you first see that appear, when it decloaks in front of the D, it like dwarfs the D.
Yeah. That was a big
It's just
moment
a
in the
huge
show.
ship.
First time you saw
Yeah.
that.
They were back. I saw this guy that is working on one that's a larger scale. I think he 3D printed the head of it. It was like 5 or 6 inches long. It was huge. Like that
Is
would
that
be
the
a
one
fun,
that's doing like a metallic green or something like that? It's like a
Exactly. really dark.
that?
I think.
was it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
'cause
think so.
I've seen somebody doing a build, but they were doing like a metallic green on the for the paint job, which was pretty cool looking.
Yeah, I'd love to build a larger scale of this so you can really put some of the details in. Another guy had which I thought was a cool idea. He had like a clear head, and so he could like pinprick the windows in so that they were a little bit more in scale. Because no matter how hard you try, in some ways, you're always going to have the windows that are probably a little bit big for how big the ship is going to be.
Right.
But if you're able to make those pinprick holes in the clear, I think it was a lot easier to get a better result. He had a gorgeous result. It looks like
Yeah.
millions of lights in this area, so it really made it look like it was in scale.
Well, I mean, just what you got there, my God, man! All those windows you had to deal with on that thing.
Yeah, that was
That was a
painful,
lot of windows.
but a fun model to build.
Nice. All right. Thanks, Steve. Thanks for
Yeah.
sharing that. So, Chris,
Yes, sir.
let's talk
Mhm.
about are we going to talk about this? Is it? You said it's not
This
Gundam,
the-
is it? Is it Gundam?
No, it's from Robotech. from
Ooh,
way back in
okay.
the day. This is the SDF-1, or also known as the Macross Super Fortress. Now that
Oh!
is not mine. Those pictures are just someone else's to show what it looks like.
Right. Because you're still
I'm
working.
3D printing this. I found a good 3D printed file on 3D Cults. And the file itself, it looks like it's designed to be about a foot tall, a foot to a foot and a half or something like that. I said, let's just increase it by 200% and have fun. So mine is almost 3 feet tall. I've got it printed. You have the images there. Those images are the internal city. I'm lighting up all different portions of this build, from turrets to windows to the internal city to the bridge. I've been working on the display base, which is actually one of the biggest display bases I've made, and I actually put a sound chip in it, so it plays the SDF-1 theme from Robotech. And that's what Scott and I have been working on today, is cleaning up that base a little bit. Oh, if you
Oh,
play,
nice.
he's going to play it. Oh, no.
What is it? I can hear
That's
it a
the
little
theme
bit.
to the ship.
Is
Yep.
it?
Yep. So that's just going to be a single button push on the display stand. It's going to be my Wonderfest entry this year, my first ever Wonderfest entry.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I
Figures you
love
guys
this
are-
thing so much.
Figures you guys are together. You're doing something geeky.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure to come by your booth and bump into it accidentally. So
Oh,
Them's fighting words there, mister.
that's right. Shots have been fired. So that's supposed to be an entire city, huh?
Yep.
wow, that's something.
Oops. How
That's
big is
just
this thing supposed to be?
Yeah. It's a beautiful 3D print. I forget who the name is of the file creator. It's actually on that image there. He has two different versions. You can't really transform it. It's a transformable ship, but he just offers two versions: the robot mode or the
Ship
aircraft carrier ship mode. But it's essentially an aircraft carrier in space. And
wow.
Robotech has these F-14 Tomcat looking fighters that transform into robots. So I tried to scale a couple of these F-14 Tomcat looking robots to my SDF-1. And let's just say they're really, 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 really small. They fit right about in there. And I'm actually
Wow.
going to put, my 3D printer was able to handle them with actually not detail, but at least sharp edges. So I'm going to put a couple of them in some of the hangar bays and work on some of the internals and the arms that actually show hangars, and maybe one or two on the carrier top.
Oh, nice.
I can't wait to see that. That's incredible.
Yeah, and this is all
Yeah.
printed in translucent, it looks like.
Yes, I printed everything in translucent. That way I can get it in light every single piece. I'm actually having fun with it. I'm doing something very unique for a lot of people. I do it a lot. When it comes to lighting, I don't use typical lighting kits. I use fairy lights or LED lights on battery packs, and I'm putting these strategically throughout this kit. And the ones that I have are actually remote controlled. So I'll be able to control all the lighting with one remote as long as they're all the same lights.
Like for
You know-
like Camino kind of a setup, or
No, it's much more simple than that. You can buy them on Amazon, pre-made.
oh really? Wow, cool.
Yep. All you got to do is look up battery-powered LED lights, and you can find, multicolored or single-colored,
Right.
different light strand lengths. And it's great. And I even used something similar to that for my Enterprise A1350 build.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, I have got to. Sorry, I was in the middle of responding to some people in the chat, but and I totally screwed that up. But yeah, so that's going to look awesome, especially now. It's all printed translucent. I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of lights in that thing, huh?
Oh yeah. I'm taking my time with it.
So Scott has sent some photos. Let me share another one of my favorite builds, and then I'll jump to Scott's, because that way I can kind of work on getting Scott's pictures pulled up while I'm showing this. But this is my build of the Golden Armor Bird of Prey. And don't ask me a scale because I do not recall what the scale is. I just know it's a 3-foot wingspan. And this was a joy to build. Unlike the War Rocket Ajax, I enjoyed building this model. It went together really well. It's made for lighting, so you've got passageways for wires and everything in this. It's got, like I said, it comes with the files to have the internal frame machined so that you have that support on it. This model I actually don't have anymore. You can so in this picture here, you can see that guard. I don't know if my pointer's showing up too, but you can
No.
see this guard on the inside.
Yes.
Is my pointer showing up?
No, but
Yeah.
I know I can see the guard.
I can see
I
it.
can't see
Right.
the pointer, but
Okay, well, the guard on the back side of that cannon barrel was not on the standard files, so I had to add that in because it is on the studio model. So I added that in myself, and Christoph, or I think his last name's Adrian or something like that, but he actually decided to add this as part of the files. So if you get the files, that's my one little contribution, I guess, to this model is that wing guard. But like I said, the wings can be oops, too far. Can be articulated into all three positions. There's pins that actually insert. This piece actually comes off, and there's pins that you can access that you pull out, move the wing, and then reinsert the pin to lock it in place. So again, just a real well designed. I enjoyed building this one. I think that if I do it again, I'll probably do it in a smaller file size. I don't know if I'll do one in this size again. I don't have this one I was saying anymore. I sold this. I don't know if the person that bought it minds me saying their name, so I won't say it. But the person that bought this, everybody would probably know him. He's a pretty prolific collector in the Star Trek realm. He actually owned the Enterprise C, the original battle damaged Enterprise C that everybody thought had been redone into the Yamaguchi. It wasn't. He actually had the model that I think he got directly from Greg Jean. I've got pictures of, he sent me pictures of it in his house. So I know this model exists. He doesn't have it anymore anyway. He's already sold that one off, but he actually bought this. And the fact that he is such a prolific collector of Star Trek studio models, and the fact that he wanted to buy my model, I was really honored to have him buy it. It was pretty cool to have somebody that was kind of an aficionado on studio models to actually think mine was good enough to own and put in his collection. So, yeah, so I don't have that model anymore. Actually, Cass was there with me when I sold it because I sold it at Wonderfest. I took it to Wonderfest, and it did. Well, I'm sorry, I did take it back home because he came and picked it up later. I met him somewhere, and he picked it up. But this was a beautiful build. I enjoyed it. I'd like to build another one, but as we say, so much time, so many miles to build, not enough time to do it. But so let me take that one off, and let me find. And Scott, you said that you sent me those pictures on Messenger, right?
correct.
All right, let me pull it up so Scott can talk about his model. Let's see what we got here. Okay, there we go. Oh, that one.
Yes, that one.
That one. Okay. Let me share this to everybody then. Screen, window, share, and share. So there you go, Scott.
All right. So this is a 1/350 scale Romulan bird of prey. So if anyone knows the history of this kit, this was my vacuum form kit that I put out when I had when I had AW Studios, which was my company. But I bought the master from Richard Long Rel, who originally had created a fiberglass version of this kit. And yeah, I bought the masters from him and broke it apart to be able to create a vacuum form kit of it.
Yeah,
And
nice.
so I broke down the wing, the wings off the main body, and then had to split the the top and the bottom to be a bottom and top half, so it's hollow and everything.
Mhm.
So I actually have, I still have the master buck, and every now and then I'll pull, I'll pull some vacuum forms. Those are, that's made out of 40,000 styrene. So it's the styrene's a little thin, but anything thicker, then you won't get some of the detail on it. But it does require some internal bracing because of it being because the styrene is thinner.
Now,
But
is that
what I
put
like
on the
about it,
underside? Is that a decal or is that painted on?
that is a decal as
Okay.
well that I offered with the kit as well. And then the domes were actually from Plastruck that I bought. The end caps are actually just were a piece of plumbing pipe, plumbing tube, like PEX pipe
Mhm.
type stuff. And then there is inside those engines, there's actually a resin detail piece in there, and then the front plasma torpedo is also a resin piece, and then the fin itself is a resin piece as well.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So
How long did it take you to build this?
this took me probably about 6 months. Just mainly because it was the first vacuum form I'd ever made myself.
Mhm.
And I mean, and what I was doing was I was trying to document how I did it so I could create instructions for it too. So, because again, a lot of people say, I don't know how to do a vacuum form kit. I don't know, how do you put this thing together? Because this is not like a typical styrene kit where you've got tabs and, markers and stuff like that. I had to create my own tabs and, cut, where the cut lines on the styrene itself, where to cut it. So, and then also I did get some, it's hard to see on there, but on the windows, they were vacuum formed into the with the model itself, but the detail was soft because of the vacuum forming process. You lose some of the details. So I have vinyl windows that Lou Dalmaso actually printed out for me.
Oh, nice.
And I offer with the kit, and so you can use they're just tiny little rings and also tiny squares that you can replace the soft detail windows on with as well. So
Yeah. How does somebody get a hold of you if they want one of those kits, Scott?
I mean, just reach out to me on Facebook, and I mean, like I said, I don't do a whole lot of runs on these just because I don't have a vacuum former myself. A friend of mine has a large vacuum form table that I go to, that I occasionally will say, hey, can you pop 10 of these off for me? And I mean, I typically sell the kits for about $80 to $90.
Okay.
Plus I got to get the resin. I had to do the resin fins, and then all the other pieces to it as well. And then also the decals. But I mean, occasionally if I get enough interest, I'll do a run of like 10 of them.
Okay.
And I mean, obviously this was, and I did these well before 3D printing was the big thing.
Right.
So
What are you
but
gonna
if
say,
you-
Steve? I'm sorry.
I said,
Sorry,
I'd like to have one.
yeah, I mean, it's to me, it's like if you still prefer, the the styrene aspect of it, then yeah, it's great. That's what you want to. That's what you would do. If you don't want, if you rather just do the resin, the 3D printing, then you do 3D printing. But I know a lot of people still like to use the model with styrene. So
Oh, is that a kit right there? That's
this
mine.
is
That's mine, right?
no, this is
Mine?
these are only some parts of. So just to see this, some parts of the that I have of a 350, of the kit. So
Okay.
little pieces of scrap I have laying around that I could always kit bash into something. So
Yeah, I got a picture of us all together from like what was it, the Wonderfest before last of us. I think.
George, George Tackett's.
Oh yeah.
He had that studio scale.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
puppy was
huge studio scale
big.
version of that. We sat it on the table while we ate pizza.
Yes, yes, we did. That was
Yep.
Steve, you missed that one, but you joined us last year. We had a good time, but you missed that one. We had a Romulan studio scale Romulan bird of prey just sitting on the table while we were eating pizza at the restaurant. And everybody's looking at us like, what the hell's going on over there?
That was that one brave waitress who came out and said, "What is
Yes.
that thing?"
Yeah. Yeah. She actually asked about she made the mistake in asking about it because
Yep.
she got-
That was a wrap.
we tipped her good. We always tip good when we go that restaurant.
Yes,
we did.
Every time we go to Wonderfest, we go to that pizza place. And
I think it was like a group of at least 20 of us, I think, go. So
Yep.
yeah, oh, this time was the biggest group we've had yet. And it was it took a minute to get seats for everybody. I think we almost took over the whole restaurant. with the
yeah, I think
group
at least
we
half the
had.
restaurant was us.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a slight invasion.
But no big models this last year that sit on the table. But yeah, we had that ramen bird of prey just sitting on the table the whole time we were eating. So that was fun. But anybody else got anything else they want to bring up? I mean, there's honorable mentions. I could mention, I mean, just about every build I brought to Wonderfest. My TOS with God, wait a minute, hang on. I've got a picture of it. Where is it? I think maybe I do. Yeah, I do. There it is. Let me just share this real quick. My TOS with the base, the custom base I did.
Yeah, I think that's something that did something, models, the models themselves, but sometimes the
That one there.
the bases that people in, like your War Rocket Ajax base in and of itself was amazing.
It's like a model unto itself, you know.
Yes, for
doing
sure.
that base. And I'm actually doing something similar for the Reliant. I've got a base that was actually meant for my Oberth, but since my Oberth got damaged in the run here, I'm actually using it because it's basically the Khan was basically the same, not Noon Khan Nooney and Singh, but the Khan and tactical
Mhm. For the
Area
weapons,
there.
the weapons console.
Yes, that console is basically the same one that they use from the Reliant and the Enterprise. They just
Same
changed
bridge.
it.
Yeah,
they
same bridge.
changed
The
it.
only thing they do is they rotated the where the turbo lift was, and they put faux panels in front of the two turbo lifts areas to
And I
make it a
think-
different bridge.
I think that console was also used for the Grissom. They just made some modifications to it
Yes.
as well. So basically, the one that they used for the Reliant and for the Grissom were basically the same one, just modifications of all of it. So I'm actually using the one that I was working on for my Grissom, but now that my Grissom's damaged, needs to be repaired, I'm looking to use that for my Reliant. And but yeah, I like adding some detail to the bases. And this is another one people are like, man, you build models just to sell them. Well, I do in a sense because I don't do commissions. I don't want to do commissions. I prefer to build a model to my own liking, and then if somebody wants to buy it, I'll sell it. But I don't like to do commissions. There's just too many restrictions, too many expectations that come with doing commission builds. And as you can see, I'm not exactly under a lot of time constraints with my builds right now because I just like to take my time with my builds. And,
But I think you're doing it the right way, Will, because again, you build it for your own enjoyment, and then if someone just happens to say, "Hey, would you be willing to sell it?" and if you're willing to say, "Sure," what's your offer? And if it's a good offer, you say, "Okay,"
yeah.
because it just gives you the excuse to build another one another time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is another one I think is showing up now as my Chronos 1 build.
Yes.
That was an enjoyable build. Those panels on the front, I custom made veneers to
Yes.
go on the front because there is a difference. It's the only thing I'm disappointed, and that's why the Chronos 1 was not one of my favorite models, was because they offered nothing to accurize the front of that secondary hull there. It's basically the same hull you get with the Katinga, instead of them either making changes to it or offering some add-ons to cover up add those details that are missing from the front of it. So that's why that wasn't on my favorite models list. The Katinga was, but this wasn't, just because it's missing those details that should have been included.
Does Green
with the kit.
Strawberry or Paragraphics offer some of those details with their
Cass does. I actually made those, offer them to Cass, and he bought the files from me, and he offers them on his
Okay.
website.
Gotcha.
Same with that piece, that photon torpedo cover on the back that I'm showing now. I made that That's from the flashback episode of Voyager. That's the only time you see that cover on there, I believe.
Nice.
But so I made that. Cass also offers that on his on LakeMonsterDetails.com. So, but I enjoyed it. I've still got both versions. I still got another Katinga I got to build. I've still got another Kronos one. I've got the complete photo etch set for this. This one I did the photo etch that came with it and the decals that add that gold detail to it. But I've actually got another whole kit, and I've got the actual full photo etch set. That was like $100, I think. Just for the photo etch.
It was just as much as the kit itself.
Yeah.
It is just about, because I think the kit's like 130, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, the photo etch by itself was like $100, and it's hard to find it now because I think Paragraphics did that photo etch for them, and there's been such limited runs on it that it's hard to even get the photo etch for these.
Mhm.
Now that one, when I do it,
Okay.
that one I'll probably keep when I build that one. This one, I've still got this one too. I did have the same gentleman that bought my big bird of prey was interested in buying this, but I told him if I was going to sell him something, let me do the one with the actual photo etch, not with the decals. But I haven't built it, and I think when I do build it, I'm probably just going to keep that one for myself because the photo etch is so hard to come by now.
Mhm.
But it did turn out beautiful. Again, I did this with Gary's mask from Mass Design, and it turned out gorgeous. His paint mixtures is, I think I pretty much used his paint mixtures. I may have changed them a little bit. I don't recall. But it's all done in craft paint, which is pretty cool. The craft paint thing is pretty cool because it's easy clean up. It's you don't have the fumes from it that you do from regular model paint. The only trick with it is you can see a little bit of a sheen on here in some of the pictures. Well, mainly on, I think these ones, you can see the sheen kind of on there from, you've got to put a clear coat over them to keep them protected.
Mhm.
But anyway, yeah, it was a beautiful build. I enjoyed that one. Again, like I said, not one of my favorite models because of the issues with the bulkhead on the front not being accurate. But other than that, I enjoyed it. So, but yeah, so that's pretty much it for me as far as favorite builds. Like I said, pretty much every model I've brought and shown at Wonderfest that everybody has seen, they're pretty much my favorite builds because they've turned out well. And if a model doesn't turn out well, I'm probably not bringing it to Wonderfest. So anyway, that's where I'm at. Anybody else got anything else? We're kind of right at 2 hours now. It's like, oh, geez, so much for staying at an hour. But that's what happens when I do these live streams. We just get to talking. And
Absolutely. Yep.
let me look. Let me see what we got in the chat real quick, just to make sure I'm not missing anything. We had a couple of people in. A couple of people have had to leave. Ken, I think Ken's in the chat right now. Pick up Kurt's jacket from Star Trek 5. Awesome jacket. Oh yeah, Ken. Yeah, that is an awesome jacket. The bomber jacket that I wear to Wonderfest, and that I wore to Star Trek Las Vegas, which I actually, and I mentioned this in one of my videos. I actually got a compliment from. Oh God, I'm drawing a blank on everybody's names today. Terry Metalis on that jacket.
Wow.
So it is a very nice jacket. Out kind of off topic from what we're talking about today, but it's all right.
But it's kind of your
But-
signature when you were doing, when you started up at the ensign's chair, you'd sit in your chair with with
Yeah.
that bomber jacket on.
Yeah, I have that bomber jacket, and I have a Monster Maroon jacket that is so. And not to get off topic, but we're kind of wrapping this up anyway. So just we can go off topic a little bit and just talk for a second. I do have a Monster Maroon jacket, but it's not finished. The story behind that is my mother started making that for me way back in the early 90s. And I don't really fit it too well either, because obviously I'm not the size I was in 1990. But
None of us are.
my mom, so my mother had cancer, and she started making this jacket for me just because that's what she did. She was a seamstress on that was kind of her hobby. Like building models is for me. She was a seamstress and made a lot of stuff. But so she started making this jacket for me, and unfortunately she passed before she was able to finish it. So It's not finished. I've had people say, "Why don't you get somebody to finish it?" I'm like, "No, because the pins that are still in that jacket are the pins that my mom put in that jacket, and I like being able to pull it out and look at it, and it reminds me of her." And sorry, I'm trying not to cry on camera here, but it's just I can't have it. The only thing I've considered doing is taking it to a convention and having William Shatner autograph it. And that's about it. Other than that, I don't want to have it finished because I like the meaning behind the pins that are in there that are still in place that my mother put in there and everything that my mom did to it. I don't want anything undone with it. So, but I do have a Monster Maroon jacket, but I want to get one either from Mimo Studios or from SB 375 or something like that.
I would definitely get the Mimo Studios. It's top notch. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he's just come out with the Generations vest as well, I believe.
Yes, he's doing
And that vest looks awesome.
He's got the vest. He's also and then Happy Hogan also is another one that does all the pins now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you get a many studios Monster Maroon, he does the pants. He does the undershirts too. Starbase SD Logistics does a great one too. I mean, I think it's either one. I think you'll get a quality Monster Maroon.
I think my next, and this is like a whole nother topic for a whole nother stream. So, but I think if I go the next one, I'm going to look at getting is probably the Generations vest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, get the one that Shatner wore in Generations.
Yeah,
That'd be nice.
You're a little muffled, Steve. What'd you say?
I'd like to get a Klingon outfit. That's really what I'd like to find. You guys,
Steve, you would make an awesome Klingon, just like Chris did.
I think so.
Yeah, all you need is the turtle head and the uniform, right?
Chris
You got the hair for it. You got the goatee.
Yeah.
You're all ready to go.
You and Chris should come as Klingons next Wonderfest.
Yeah, that's my goal. I've been thinking about it in
I've
my mind.
retired my ridges. Yeah.
Oh well, it's worth a try.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
those Klingon outfits. I mean, some of the people who do those Klingon costumes are great. Yeah, Garrett Durr, who did some. I've seen some of his work, and just gorgeous. He had some stuff. He got some original screen use stuff, and it's really nice.
I'd like to see Steve as a Klingon, man. I think you got the hair for it. You got the long hair for it.
That's the plan. That's the plan.
Yeah.
All you need is the prosthesis, for your ridges.
Yeah. I may go without those, but I just want to bring one of those knives that they have. They probably won't let me into the convention with it though.
But the batleth.
Yeah, that's it. You know what? The knife that Crew had.
The other knife that's got the prongs that pop open.
Exactly. Just to have
That's
that.
the one that Commander Cruz had, right? In Star Trek 3?
Yeah.
Was that it? Or was it one of the? It was one of the other guys, I think.
Krug. Yeah, Krug.
I'm sure Krug had one too, but the one they used to kill David with.
Yes,
that's right.
Yeah.
David Killer.
Poor David.
Poor David.
always in our hearts and minds.
That's right.
Yeah. But all right, guys. So we're at we're over 2 hours, so we'll kind of wrap this up. But thank you guys for joining in. Thanks to Cass and Hagen for joining in as well. Always good to have a group discussion on the topic. We'll look for something else to talk about. I've got a couple ideas on some other topics we can get together and talk about as well. But I think we're going to kind of wrap this one up. So again, thank you guys, Chris and Scott. Thank you for joining in.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
Steve, thanks for joining in. Great conversation. Looking forward to seeing you guys. We've got T-minus 9 months to Wonderfest again.
Yeah,
not soon enough.
Yeah, I'm probably going to have to choose between Wonderfest and Star Trek Las Vegas next year, but I think it's probably going to be I know it's going to be Wonderfest. If I got to choose between the two, I'll go to Wonderfest. But I really want to go to the 60th anniversary of Star Trek Las Vegas, but their tickets are selling out like hotcakes for next year because they're expecting a huge turnout.
That's
yeah, so I probably won't go to that next year. I'll probably skip a year, even though I want to go. But,
we'll make this really easy for you, man. We need you. Need you. And
Oh,
the
you ain't
needs
gotta worry
of the
about it.
many
You ain't gotta worry
outweigh
about
the
it.
needs of the few or the one.
You don't have to worry about it. If I got to choose between one, it's always going to be Wonderfest because that's where all my family and I consider everybody their family because I mean we are when we get there we just kind of hang out and we talk and we catch up and we disagree on things, but we also agree on more things than we disagree on. So
Absolutely.
I just can't wait to see some more of these builds. That's exciting. I mean,
Yeah.
the macro city's got me geeked up already. To be honest with you, I can't.
Right?
Yeah,
The only problem I have now is living in Nevada. I'd have to fly stuff, and I'm just not a big fan of putting my models in other people's hands to get it there, you know. But I do hopefully, I don't know, the more time goes by, the less and less I think I'm going to get done this year, but I do want to get that Ian Lawrence 1-50 refit done because I've got the Ford observation lounge in that, and I haven't seen anybody do it yet, so I kind of want to get mine there.
yeah.
If somebody else does it, and then it's like,
You're the
well,
prototype. You're the prototype. You know,
so
before Cass before Cass offers it, you've got it. You did it.
yeah, I
So
don't know. I thought did he not offer that yet? I thought he had it up. Maybe not.
I haven't seen it yet. At least I'm not.
Yeah, he may not have it up yet. But yeah, so but anyway, just to wrap things up, guys, appreciate you coming in. Appreciate everybody that's joined in on the chat, that's watched this, and everybody that's going to watch this in the future. It's a long video, but hopefully everybody enjoys the conversations we have concerning some of our favorite kits and favorite builds. But again, thank you guys for joining in, and I will see you. We'll get together again here at some point before Winterfest for sure.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
All right, guys, y'all take
Thank you.
care. We'll see you later.
Namaste.
Take care.
Thank you again. All right, guys, thanks again.
Yeah.